race is on. So you can see in the background, there is an official countdown for getting the Scrambler finished. Quite a few jobs left to do still. And as you can see on the other screen, there is a plan, and that's dangerous. So just to cover what I've done in the meanwhile that I haven't necessarily filmed. Come to fit the hydraulics for the front brake, and there was a foul condition with the throttle cables. So I've readjusted the throttle, and I'm waiting on a new braided line because it turns out the original Bonnie one isn't long enough. So waiting for that to turn up, but I've remade the rear mudguard stay so that it now misses the caliper and that can float. So that's all good. Waiting on the brake discs to arrive. They're all cleaned up now. Front mudguard is in and nice and even. I'm happy with that, and the loop for the rear brake is there. P-clipped in place. So next jobs, I've got wiring to do for the speedo. I've come up with a plan for that. I've gone with a Motor Gadget M-Tri, and it'll have Daytona Valona speedometer. So need to do some of the wiring in prep for that and run all of these loose wires in. So I'm going to do that in a moment. I need to fit the oil cooler. Once that's in place, I can then fit the horn and the rectifier, and then need to make a mount for the seat and wire up the tail light. So excuse me, I'm going to hit those off the list as best I can today. So that's my plan. A lot of this will be time lapsed and I'll jump in and out, so just want to get it done. As you can see, we've got 33 days and 4 hours to get this finished. The MOT is booked for the 26th of May, and then yeah, I'm not sure I can do it, but we're gonna try. The biggest question mark is the rear swing arm. The swing arm. Doing the extension and that sort of thing, but that's out of my hands at the moment. That's at the machine shop, so I'm gonna do everything I can, and if push comes to shove, I could run it with this swing arm and the standard suspension, but I don't want to do that. So yeah, stop waffling. Let's get some things ticked off the list. And that's that. CAN bus added into the diagnostic port. So I've got my OBD2 cable now to run tune ECU, and when I made the harness originally, I omitted to look in the manual. I need to extend the CAN line back to the OBD port, so that's now done. So next thing is to tidy up all this mess at the front and get all that into the back of the headlight in lieu of the speedo turning up. So let's do that job. You join me guys at a critical moment. So I've done most of the wiring corrections, modifications. I fitted the horn and the rectifier. I had the oil lines in place, and then it occurred to me that I couldn't do up the lower oil line because of the exhaust and fouling on the front engine mounted bolt. So I needed to undo the oil coil at the bottom to pivot it over in order to do that up. When I come to undo the one bolt, it didn't want to join in. So I've had to drill that out to this, and I've filed the end and I've managed to recover the thread, and I've now got 2 nuts locked up there to attempt to try and get this out of the riv nut that is on the oil cooler. Now it was a little bit iffy going in, and it was one of those, should I, should I not? And I made the mistake and went for it. And I shouldn't have done. So turns out a drill and a little piece of wood is an essential tool in fitting oil lines on a Triumph Scrambler. Who knew? Let's get this out. Oh, she's turning. Putting the normal bolts back in here now. Thought of being clever, putting fancy button head bolts to make it look pretty. To which my good friend Luke would be going ape about right now. There we go. We got it. Not yet. We're getting there though. We are getting there. So yeah, the factory bolts are going back in. Oh, here we go. Here it comes. Can I have enough room? Please have enough room. Winner! And that's the end of the Sunday session. So, got quite a bit done. A bit of a challenge. That bolt for the oil cooler is now out and has been replaced. Put the standard bolts back in. Horn and rectifier mount is all neat. The front there, got the rectifier wiring clipped back here. All my lambda sensor, O2 sensor wires are neatly run and back there and come up to here. Got the add-in wires for the digital speedo and my speed sensor wiring here. The ground point for that here. Done a bit of neatening up in here. You don't see half of that. Crankcase breather. Need to attach my air filter, but the crankcase breather is now in place. And I've done, as we get towards the back here, you'll see this is the twisted pair from the can line taken out of the ECU connector. Runs down here, up the back and into the diagnostic connector. I've also modified the rear wiring harness, so we've now got the female bullets for the indicators with an additional ground, and there is ground to the back there which will split for the number plate light. That's what those are, and there's the brake light wiring. Those will get taped up once this is done. This piece of tape here is to mark out the centre point, because that's going to be where I'm going to fix the seat. All fixings are back in the battery tray, the terminals are there. So, realistically, I've got finalised the wiring at the front for the speedo. Once the that turns up and the M-Tri turns up. And put some oil and a new filter in the engine, and then hit the go button, and hopefully all will be good. So as you can see, we'll have this counter up on every video now for Scrambler. See how much time we've got left, or how little time we've got left, and this is a list of all the tasks and when I plan to do them. trying to be organised. Doubt it's going to work, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I know this has been a bit of a bitty one, doing bits here and there, but I think we're getting sorted. So let's see how we get on the next one. Take it easy, guys.